Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing. Mic test, mic text. Alright, let's head on to the charts. Let's see if there's anything here on the indices. So far we are in expansion. Even on the lower time frames, I don't really see anything that I am interested in. Yep. Let's take a look at the Forex futures. Yeah, it's probably going to be a very short stream because there's nothing here. I would like to trade this candle here, which is from 3 AM London to 4:30, but if it does not provide any clear draw on liquidity, I'm not going to. Yeah. So what am I looking for is SMT on the candle's lows. And right now we don't really have any. They are all in sync so far. Because if I'm bullish, I want to see SMT on the lows, and I'll be dropping down into the low time frames to look for the entry model to print. But right now it just ran, so something like this. I want to see something like this, and then this candle closing, and I'll look for an entry on the next candle itself. So right now I don't have that provided to me. And even on the Forex, it's the same thing. So over here we have the lows, and over here, and this candle would be a nice trade to take, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't sitting in front of the screen at this particular candle itself. I was still setting up the live stream stuff. And so this year I'm going to try something a little bit different, which is what I'm doing currently. And hopefully I can pass this challenge within the first payment. I don't want to pay for any more subscriptions. This is just something that I would like to do for fun, because other than waiting for the high time frame setups that I would take on my personal accounts, I would like to do something on the low time frames, but I don't want it to affect my model or the framework that I have for the personal accounts. So yeah, so I bought this challenge here, this new challenge here. I bought it today. Okay, and let's see if I can pass it so that I don't have to pay it anymore. The good thing about them is that they don't have a activation fee. So yeah, so back to the topic, I was looking for something like this, and then I would start to hunt for an entry on the next candle. So basically this candle right here. So I'll be taking the opening price, depending on which is more bullish. Okay, so in this case, a British pound is more bullish. Okay, so dropping down into the lower time frames, 5 minutes to 1 minute. We'll be waiting for a change in the state of delivery. This is also the true opening price of London. It's 130. So we have this candle dropping down into the last down close candle for Euro, and over here we have the subsequent candle drop down into the last stop hunt that formed the low. Right, so this is a higher low. These two candles down here, they are equal. This is a bullish on the block, dropping down and then higher, but the price action is not that clean on British pound as compared to Euro FX. And so the main criteria of how I pick is how clean is the setup looking. So in this case, even though Euro is weaker, I'll pick Euro. Right, if I fail or if I do not trust in this order block down here, I'll wait for a proportion on the block, which would be any candle closing above this two down close candles. However, in that case, I would not have any entries because it's just expense higher. So either way, I guess I'm gonna miss the move. So yeah. Alright, let me just remove this annotations. Because of this specific accounts framework, I don't really have to worry too much about the higher time frame order flow. All I need to do is to determine the order flow on 90 minutes time frame and just trade off that 90 minutes. Sometimes 5 minutes can provide you the entry, sometimes you have to drop down into the 1 minute. However, the 1 minute looks really spotty down here. Still preferring the 5 minutes and the 3 minutes. Yep, and ideally I would like to see a stop hunt. Yep, I think I'm just going to stick to the 90 minutes and the 30 minutes time frame. So right now we have traded into a premium. Let's see if it wants to retrace. I'm just going to narrate this price action until 4 a.m. in London because I don't have anything here. And even if I were to wait for the next SMT on the highs, I'll have to wait for the next candle to close. So yeah. This framework is good in a way whereby it's very easy to tell if you are taking trades for the next few candles or you're just gonna sit by and let it pass and go do other stuff. Now for the indices, what I would love to see is that Dow Jones does not make a higher high above this high. Best case scenario above this high. I would like it to stay below because I'm bearish. Alright, so SMT on the highs is what I'm looking for on the daily time frame. And then once I get that, I'll drop down into the hourly time frame. I'll wait for a stop hunt and then I'll take all the block entries. Very simple. So in this case, for the personal accounts, I will only have like about 1 or 2 trades at best for the week. And in the span of a month, I would only be averaging around 4 to 5 trades per month. And these 4 to 5 trades per month are just opportunities because the target would be 6%. Right. So as ICT has mentioned and has worked out the math, 6% compounded for the entire year, that would be a 100% gain in your initial capital investment. That would be for the personal accounts. So the plan is to just risk about 1 to 2% per trade, but for the personal account it's going to be 2%, and for the funded accounts on top of that, that's going to be 1%. Right, it only takes me 2 trades. It will only take me 2 trades to net 6% for the personal account. So I think this is pretty easy to pull it off. The other criteria for the framework would be the trade setups has to at least provide 3R. However, I would only look for 2R within that trade idea itself. So in this case, it pretty much guarantees the exit, and I don't have to wait for the perfect exit or the lowest or the highest exit. And I think this can improve consistency. So far, based on the data that I've collected, a 1.5 R is pretty much 95% guaranteed, and 2R is usually about 85 to 80%, depending on how much R you are placing your trade on, like how much does it provide. So usually minimum 1 to 3R trades, I'll take 2R profits. And even if it goes to like, if it is able to go into like 4R or 5R in terms of the risk to reward, will still just exit at 2R, right? Because profit is what matters. Profit is what it truly matters. Because when you're in a trade, the unrealized profits are just unrealized, right? I mean, you got to realize the profits to keep it. So yeah, I am just blabbering on because there's nothing happening on the charts. Yeah, and I'm planning to do this for as long as I can. I'm not sure how this short mini little project is going to last, or it's going to pan out, but yeah, the goal is to try to do it like almost daily during London. Best is I start at 1:30 because that is the true opening of London. So yeah, I'll be looking to do that. So the time frame or the live stream is going to be from 1:30 New York, London to 3 or 4:30 depending on the candles, right? If they don't print anything, then there's no point in me staying. Maximum duration for the live streams would be 2 hours, and the shortest would be 1 hour and 30 minutes, 90 minutes candle, or no, maybe just 1 hour. The shortest would be 1 hour, just like today. Right, I started the stream at around 3 and I'll be ending the stream at 4 because I don't see anything that's gonna potentially happen later on, like for the next few candles. Because even if it closes up above here, I don't think the next candle is gonna trade into this to send it higher. Right now I'm much more leaning towards bearishness, and price is approaching premium. I don't really want to buy into that. So from this high to this low, look at the dealing range here that we're in over here as well for British pound. Okay, so I'm not trying to long this price action here because ultimately on the higher time frames we are bearish, right? Even though I don't really have to look at the higher time frames, but it is very advantageous to do so, as it can provide a stronger and a low resistance liquidity runs, so to speak. So over here we are trading into the daily bearish fair value gap, British pound as well. We have weekly targets down here. And over here for the euro dollar. And over here you can see there's SMT on highs, and we broke lower. Right now we are in a bearish order flow, so this is going to be very heavy due to the SMT and the original consolidation right here. This to me is like we are in the first part of the expansion, and I think eventually we're going to take out this low right here for euro, because as I've mentioned in the previous forecast for the year, I'm expecting higher prices for the dollar up till 121. Yeah. So that would mean that the euro and the British pound would be moving inversely with the dollar. I'm testing out the music to see if I have a copyright strike. It's from another YouTube channel, so hope that there is no ads playing. So I hope that in this video I have pretty much laid out the framework for what I'm gonna use for this particular live stream project that I have. Right. I hope it's clear, and if you have any questions, you can just put them in the comments section down below. Can I? Yeah, one contract. I wonder how much is that? Like if I were to just for example, for one contract that would be $50. So for 3 contracts that would be $160. 2 contracts. It feels like it feels more like ES, or maybe the micro contracts for ES for this futures for the forex in terms of sizing, because for the funded futures they only allow the maximum of three contracts maximum. Right, and I haven't mentioned the risk that I want to use for this project here. It's going to be 2% in the evaluation, and if I am able to pass it, then it's going to be 1%. So 50k account, 2% would be $1,000. No, wait, let me check the max drawdown. I think it's 2.5k. Alright, so it's 2.5k, so in that case I'm going to be, yeah, just like top step, it's going to be 1%. Can't risk more than that. So 2.5k each trade, risking $500 maximum. Let me do the math here. me just double check. That would take me 5 consecutive losing trades to lose the account. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Because if I were to lose 5 consecutive trades, that means my win rate is very, very low, which is bad. Which is not what I am expecting it to be. So let's see. For yes, I can see that it's probably going to come up and take out this high here. You say inefficiency for Nasdaq as well. This high. So looking at this from a longer term perspective, it's like a consolidation profile. So over here, from this high to this low, or maybe from this high to this low right here. So all of this is like false breakouts. And we're now back into the range. Four hours. This right here. It could be a potential inversion if we close above it. But because I'm bearish, I don't really want to see this happen. If we start to trade higher, closing above this, there is a potential that we're going to attack this highs here. These are relatively equal highs. And they'll just leave the lows here for next month. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. Alright, no news for today. 10 a.m. news drivers for tomorrow. 8:15 and 8:30 on Wednesday. No news on Thursday. NFP on Friday. In that case, then I think Tuesday and Wednesday, because I'm bearish, it should make the high of the week. And at the same time, it's good that we are trading higher first on Monday, because if you think about it, every candle has a opening, close, highs and lows. So right now what I see is that the weekly time frame is printing the high. This is basic power of 3. It's printing the high first, and Tuesday we might get an SMT on the highs and continue to expand lower based on the higher time frame order flow. So if you take a look right here, we have this SMT on the highs between this candle and this candle. When you compare it with Nasdaq, the next candle we open up, we trade it higher, and then we closed over here. So it's predominantly a bearish week due to the expansion being towards the downside more, I would say, as compared to the upside. And then the following week, same thing, we traded higher and then we expanded lower. Let's see if we do in fact expand higher first. Let's go to the 4 hours time frame. Oh, too much lines. I'm gonna use the opening price instead. Yeah, so we open up, we traded lower, and then we traded higher over here. We expanded lower and closing out the week right here. So over here on highs, we have SMT as well. Right here. Very interesting. Okay. And then the following week, we open up above here. We trade higher, and it just continues to expand lower throughout the week. And then we have a retracement back into this level here. That would be the close of the week. A down close candle. Alright, we have 8 more minutes left to the end of the session. Buys for NQ? What do you mean? For the week? For the week I'm bearish. I'm bearish because it has started to respect bearish order flow on the daily time frame. At the same time, it's also the start of the year. Even if we are to expand higher in 2025, we should see some discount week on the yearly candle. And the price action here is just too good in terms of objectives. We have equal lows for ES, and we have this small range grind higher. Usually for price action like this profile right here, the lows are swept. So this can be seen happening a lot of times on the lower time frames. Therefore, because time is fractal, I'll be applying it on the weekly time frame as well. There is no inefficiencies down here until this point. So if NQ is to trade lower, it's going to look for swing lows as the objective. Dow Jones as well. This little right here is the next drawn liquidity for me. We have a bearish fair value gap, and way up here I would prefer to see it as a breakaway gap, because these two up close candle, it's a bearish order block, so it should stop the price from wanting to trade up into this super premium fair value gap. Also, because of NFP, I'm allowing the week to be a seek and destroy profile. So in this case, because of this looming fair value gap here for Dow Jones, it is possible that it would like to expand up into this area here prior to NFP, and then close below during NFP, and then for the next week we start to gravitate lower. That could be the case as well, or it does a false move lower first and then higher, something like this. Trade up, down, up again, down again. This right here is totally possible because of NFP for this week. So in that case, it would mean that ES is probably going to do this. And then next week onwards, we're probably going to get this retracement higher, and then one straight down into this lows here. For NQ, same thing, gonna do a false higher. I forgot to draw it on ES. So false move higher, false move lower, one more stop hunt, and then lower. And then next week we traced higher and send it one shot down to the lows. Alright, 3 more minutes to the end of the session. Let's take a look at the Forex. Yep, nothing much here. Okay, time's up. I'm gonna end the stream here. See you in the next session. Unfortunately, no trades on Monday. Yup, and the other thing that I want to put out is that I'm only going to trade this particular account right here on live stream. So if there's no trade taken during the live streaming session, then you can assume that there's no trade taken for the rest of the day. And that's just how it's gonna be. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.